Hello. So I've got my OS FSa-155P engine here in my hand, and the first two videos I made with this engine I don't think really painted it in the best of lights. So I was thinking last week or so, you know what, let me pull this thing out again, let me play with it a little bit more, let me give it another shot and see what happens. So I took it out, put it on my stand, and noticed a couple of things that I thought were interesting about it that I had seen before, but I really hadn't made a connection with. And you'll see that here coming up at the beginning of the video. So I put it out and I ran it on my stand in the garage without any video, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not doing the break-in stuff anymore, so let's just figure out how to make this engine run right and get it tuned preliminarily so that maybe we can have a little bit better showing. And that's what I did. And then I said, when the weather permitted, took it outside and I made a video with it, which is about what you're about to see. Now, keep in mind, I did still have some technical difficulties in this video you're going to see, but it didn't revolve really around the engine, it was more around my stupid Turniggy tack. So I did not edit this video at all. I wanted you to see how things went throughout the entire video, and to be honest with you, this time this engine was the star of the show. So at the end of the video I'll come back and I'll just kind of give you a quick summary of the things I've discovered about this engine, some of its quirks, and my final observations on it. Who knows, you may see me run this thing again some more. Let's just watch this video and see how it goes. So here you can see the 3 notches on the throttle barrel. As you can see, it goes further than that first notch. That's fully closed. This is about where I get a good 2,000 RPM idle. And even though this is maximum throttle, I get peak RPM about right here, which is odd, but that's just the way it is. Teddy, I'm going to make some noise now, okay? One for this damn tack. Oh, that never helps. Okay, so as you can see, this engine does run really well, provided you operate it within certain guidelines. And those things would be knowing and observing the throttle positions and the notches on this barrel. Now, running it on a stand is very different than if you are putting it in an airplane, because obviously now with all of these automated radio systems, you can set things very precisely as far as your throttle, trim, and that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's probably more tailored for modern use than it would be an older radio system, which is fine. But the other thing that's really key that I found, and it was a mistake I made in both my first two videos, was having enough fuel in the fuel tank. Even though this is a pumped engine, that does not mean that it's going to suck every bit of fuel out of this tank, because it is not. My experience in these 3 or 4 times I've run this thing, not all on camera, if the tank level gets to about a 1/4 inch or so, you're going to start having issues running this thing up to speed. Why? I do not know. I think it's just a design of the OS pump system. This thing seems, in my experience, in the short time I've run this engine, that it really needs a really full tank of fuel, and by the time it starts running low, you better get down, because you're going to start having some issues. Unlike a YS system, or YS engine that actually has a pressurized fuel system, those engines will run and suck every last drop of fuel out of a tank. This one will not. So those are the things that I would say you need to be aware of if you ever buy one of these things, which, as I said in previous videos, I didn't buy this, and quite honestly I'm glad I didn't. So unfortunately, I think this is a well-designed engine. It looks nice anyway, but in application I think OS really kind of missed the mark, and maybe this is the way all of their pump systems work, and if so, I'm not impressed with OS pump systems, and I certainly won't get any more impressed with them based on this, and I won't try any more of them either. So those are my thoughts on this OS FSa-155P engine. For now, it's still in my inventory though. Thank you for watching.